As coaches, it's really important for us to develop our athletes as leaders. We can't really just hope that they become leaders on their own, and we can't really expect for them to become leaders. We have a role and obligation even to make sure that we're developing them. We can do that through the investment of time, just sitting down with them and talking about what leadership looks like, what our expectations of leadership as coaches are. I think it's important that we get to know them as not just an athlete, but also as a human being as well. Maybe what makes them tick, what their motivations are, a little bit more about their family. There's all kinds of resources that are available out there in order for us to do this. I think it's important that we use our own experiences as leaders as well to share and to help mold them and to make them better leaders. I learned really early on as a young head coach how important it was to develop leadership in my athletes. I had a team that underachieved because we did not have good leadership. So I put my focus into developing my athletes as leaders as I moved on after that. I'll share a couple of quick stories with you. I had one player, Kyrie. He was fairly immature, both on the court and off the court, leading into his senior year. But I knew he was going to be my best player, and I needed him to be a good leader for that team. Developed some sessions with him, about 10 of them, based on Jeff Jansen's team captain's leadership manual. Got to know Kyrie as a person really well. And fast forward to his senior night, our last home game of the regular season. We're playing for our conference championship against our biggest rival. I drew up a play coming out of a timeout where Kyrie was going to have to make the pass that led to the shot that would win the game for us. The play happened exactly as we wanted it to. Kyrie made the pass exactly as we needed, and a freshman took the last shot and won the game, won the conference championship for us. And I saw in that moment all of the investment of time that Kyrie and I had spent together pay off in that moment. A year later, I had another senior. He was going to be a 4-year varsity starter. Brad was his name. And Brad, I wouldn't say embraced those sessions in the off season leading into his senior year as well as Kyrie had. We didn't have nearly as successful of a year that season, Brad's senior year. But fast forward 10 years later, and Brad was inducted into the school's athletic Hall of Fame. And in his video for the Hall of Fame induction, he was asked who was most influential on his athletic career at the school. And Brad said it was me, because the time that we spent in developing him as a leader. And I look now at where he is as a young professional and the success that he's having. And I think back to that and how valuable that time that we spent together in molding him was to not just that season where it may not have been as successful, but in Brad as a person and who he is now.